So the first ability, Careless Wish. Careless Wish buries Amira's foes under mounds of cursed gold. After 10 seconds, the curse is released from the gold and deals damage based on its health. Each time an opponent deals damage, they also deal the same damage to their amount of gold. Each mystic ally other than Amira raises the gold's health by 10%. So you can see here at max level, we have, let's see, gold's health, damage at gold's max health. So we have two separate things here, and we don't see the equations yet. We don't see the equations yet, but this hero is also interesting and has a pretty high skill cap and, you know, as well a high skill ceiling. So basically what this is a delayed big area of effect hit. A big area of effect hit that can be completely countered, by the enemy team, but traditionally low damage dealers like healers, for example, Nebula, for example, we saw that in the video today, will have a hard time removing the gold. So you can remove the debuff, the gold debuff, by dealing damage normally, and that will reduce the health of the gold pile. That will reduce the gold that you have. And then the next part of it, the actual damage hit, is based on some equation having to do with magic attack as well as the gold's health. All right, so you can see here, damage at gold's max health is 316,000 damage. Obviously, you're never, ever, ever going to do 316,000 damage. You're never going to do that because every hero does damage. So every hero will reduce the amount of gold damage. Every hero will reduce the amount of gold damage that they take. This is magic damage, so it can be prevented with magic defense. It can be deflected with Rufus. It can be, you know, I don't know. All kinds of stuff here. And then each mystic ally other than Amira raises the gold's health by 10%. So you can increase the gold health by up to an additional 40%. So that adds, you know, roughly an extra 100,000 health onto the gold stack, bringing it up to, I don't know, something like 370,000, 380,000 health, something like that. And then of course the damage that gold does at max health will go up as well. It persists through death. So once you use this ult, potentially you're done using Amira for the fight, right? Like if you bring Amira for this big area of effect hit, you're done. Fair deal. And the green, blue, and violet ability each counters a specific main stat. Fair deal counters agility heroes. All right, specifically critical hit agility heroes. This ability right here, and Genies Patronage and the other violet ability, puts her squarely in the support hero role. You don't build a team around Amira. But we'll get to that in a second. Fair deal says, Amira makes a fair deal with those enemies that have agility as their main stat. Their critical hits become critical fumbles for 9 seconds, and their critical hit chance increases. Critical fumbles deal half as much damage as a regular attack. So if a regular attack does 100 damage, okay, a regular attack does 100 damage. If that attack critical hits, it does 200 damage. All right, so now it will reduce the regular attack to 50 damage for 9 seconds. All right. Massive physical damage slowdown for critical hit heroes. For non-critical hit heroes. And we're talking about, you know, critical hit heroes can include anybody that's paired up with Jet, right? You could consider, you know, Daredevil, Artemis. There's a handful of critical hit heroes, right? There's a couple. The overall effectiveness of those heroes are going to be lessened. Great defensive ability against critical hit heroes. If you're not going up against a critical hit team, then don't use Amira versus physical teams, right? Just don't do it. Next ability, I believe, is the Genies Patronage. Amira activates the Patronage for 8 seconds, protecting her allies. While the Patronage is active, her allies don't take magic damage lower than 45,299 from enemies that have intelligence as their main stats. Patronage is always active for mystics. Magic damage lower than isn't dealt to allies under the Patronage. All right, so any hero that does low damage magic attacks, but frequently, and I don't know if you guys saw, but Orion was kind of shut down. Orion was kind of shut down by this guy. So any magic damage dealer that does less than 45,299 will do no damage for 8 seconds to Amira and her allies. And if if any of her allies are mystic, then this buff or this shield is always active. This shield is always active. I think it's possibly time to add a damage blocked, or a damage absorbed stat. Krista's Ice Thorns. Yep, that's right. Yeah, I think the twins are pretty hard countered by this individual. I think looking at the video that she completely blocked Lars's lightning bolt. This is a tough ability. However, any hero that does big magic damage hits, like the Chaos Tribe, this will not matter for that team. I think the Chaos Tribe is going to do well against her. Satori will do well against her. And then finally, the Violet ability is going to be based on dealing with enemies that have strength as the main stat. Amira tests the enemies that have strength as their main stat by depleting 5% of their max energy. If their max health is below a certain number, she instead depletes 50% of their max energy. So if max health, we saw that 50% energy reduction on the teaser video. We spent a little bit of time discussing whether or not it was a damage attack or an energy debuff. And, you guys were right. It was an energy debuff. Obviously, it hit every single one of the enemy team there because they were a low level just for the case of the video. But I'm not sure exactly how many heroes have less than 569,000 health. But we can kind of go look if we want to. So let's do that. But it looks like basically just your tanks. 569. Yeah, it looks like basically just your tanks. Just your tanks are going to have above that. Everybody else is going to get hit with a minus 50% energy. Only against strength heroes, though. Only against strength heroes. So any strength hero that's not a tank is going to have their energy reduced significantly. No damage with this attack. No damage with this attack. Just a big energy reduction. A complex hero. I'm not sure how to best use her. And during the live stream, she was showcased quite frequently the rest of the Mystic tribe. And by the way, while we're on the subject, the rest of the Mystics include Ziri, Rufus, Celeste, Satori, and Martha, as well as Amira. Amira, I think is how Daniel pronounces it. Amira. And they chose a physical tank in Ziri against physical teams and a magic tank in Rufus against magic teams. I don't know if I'm overwhelmed by this. I'm sure that there is a situation where this is going to be impactful, but I'm just not sure. I'm not sure how I feel about it yet. Continuing on, we can see that, come on, there we go. Here is Amira's artifacts. She's got magic defense artifact, magic penetration, magic attack, and of course an intellect ring. And here is Amira's max stats. 56,000 magic attack, 16,000 armor penetration, magic penetration. He didn't show us the glyphs, but 16,000 magic penetration tells me that she does have a magic penetration glyph. So her glyphs are probably magic attack, of course, intelligence, magic penetration, magic defense, and likely health. But I could be wrong.